Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Extreme Wise Predictions channel. And in this video, I'm going to be answering your questions. I normally call it the Answer Monday questions. But before we get into the video, let us look at some of the predictions that I made previously in the past that are actually happening right now. So I made a prediction previously talking about there's going to be possibly a mid-air crash. And I think that almost happened where like a jet is going to be happening or something like that. I think there's another one that is going to be happening. It's like shooting a jet down or something. And I feel like that. I also made a prediction that I feel that Russia may be behind this, or it was going to be a plane that is coming from Russia or something like that. That's what I saw actually happening. And this is what something I predicted. I also predicted about the digital ID in UK, as I also told you guys that this was a prediction that I made. I also made a prediction about Tasmania in Australia having an earthquake, and this also actually happened. I also told you guys that there was going to be an open AI platform that is actually coming, and this was something that has started emerging as well. There are talks and this things that are coming. I also told you that Elon Musk and then Trump will come together and start something. And I see that this is actually happening. Something that I saw before, fellow psychic actually also made those predictions that I said. I said this was going to be happening, and this started actually happening as well. Before that, let me make something very clear. You know, people, I've seen a lot of psychics saying that, Trump is going to pass away, is going to step down. Let me make it a little bit clear. Trump is not going to be passing away. Trump is not going to be stepping down during his presidency. He is going to be actually fulfilling all his term within his presidency, because this is something that is in his actual chart in terms of his future, that he's going to be the president for the second time and possibly running for a third time. So it's not something that we're going to be seeing Trump stepping down anytime soon. I know there may be an assassination attempt, which I already predicted in most of my videos already, that there are going to be assassination attempt on Trump, and a lot of people are also saying the same thing as I predicted. So this is not something that is going to let him step down of his presidency, and I don't think that this is going to have him step down. So it is part of the predictions that I made previously, and things like that. I also see that there's a lot of people who were asking whether grain market is going to generally, like a general question, but generally, I'm seeing that it's going to go down for the end of this year, or by the end of this year it's still going to go down. I don't see anything making it to come up before the end of 2025 that I see happening. I see that in Czech Republic has they have a legislative election that is coming on the 3rd and then the 4th of October, and I see that the ANO party is going to be winning that elections, and I think that the name of the person winning is Andre, and then I see Andre winning that election. Currently, I see that the president of Cameroon, Paul, is it Biya or something like that, will win the presidential election that is going to be held in Cameroon on October the 12th, 2025. I see that he's going to win, but there's going to be a misunderstanding on his win, but he's going to be announced the winner of that election. I also see that in Cote d'Ivoire, they are also having a presidential election that is going to be coming on the 25th of October, 2025. And I see that Al Hassan, is it Otaria or something like that, will win that election. And I see that the party he belongs to that is winning that election is RHDP. That is the party. It has a Democrat or something like that in that name. And I see that happening. In Ireland, I see that it's going to be having an election October 27th. And I see that Heather Humphreys is going to be the one that is going to be winning that election. So that being said, let us move on to your questions so that I can be able to answer your questions. If you want your questions to be answered, drop them in the comment section of this video, and your questions may be featured in our next Answer Monday video. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you can get notified when I post similar videos like that. Let's watch out for the elections and see if I'm going to get them right. For the first question, I have Sobia. Sobia said, "Thank you for again for addressing my question about Belgium real estate market. Very helpful answer. It's a new question. Will North Korea militarily attack other countries in the coming years?" So I don't see North Korea military attacking any country at the moment. I think I see South Korea doing something like that. But since your question is about North Korea, I'm not going to go into that so right now. So I don't see there's no military attack that is going to be coming from North Korea on other countries in the next 3 years. But let's see, maybe political chaos may happen. I see there's going to be a political chaos in the country in North Korea. But I may pick something up later on, but I see political, um, I think, chaos in the country where I'm having a feeling that maybe the president is going to be stepping down, and then I see a lady actually emerging in North Korea. I don't know how the policies in North Korea is, but I see like a lady. I think maybe the lady is relatively close to the current president. I'm seeing that a lady is going to be emerging. I think you have another question. Let's move on to your next question. Your next question says, "Do you also see the Russian army crisscrossing Belgium and France in the coming years? And if so, what was the reason and what objectives do they have?" So what I actually see for Russia is that Russia will start, actually, I think the World War III or something like that. About they will violate. I see them violating NATO. So if your question is about Belgium, France, I think Belgium and France are part of the NATO. I think they will violate NATO, something like that, and which may include Belgium and France and all other countries. And this is coming very soon. This is something that is already cooking already, and I see that they may be violating these countries, and I think that that is what is going to happen. But specifically for Belgium and France, um, they are all part of it. It's something like Russia is going to be doing something massively. But whilst I'm talking about, I'm hearing the country Estonia. I don't know if I think maybe they may start something with Estonia. I see Russia starting something with Estonia. Because I'm doing this live, I'm not getting the clarity, but I hear Estonia whilst I'm mentioning Russia. So I see that Russia and Estonia will have something coming. If they don't have it already happening, that means that it's something that is in the play. And let us move on to the next question. So the next question is that we have Freeman. Freeman says that, what is the correlation with people losing their jobs? Is it the market crash? So these people losing or getting laid off with which are given no meaningful reasons of them getting laid off, little to no reasons at all. I think it's due to that. They would normally say it's due to the direction where the company wants to go and stuff like that. But the main reason we are having a global recession that is coming. That is the main reason, and AI is actually taking away our jobs as well in most of the countries. So the companies that we are working for, most of the time they are trying to actually prepare for the recession that is actually emerging, that a lot of people have not actually accepted that we are in a recession. It is global. This recession is global. So you can see that there are multiple different countries who are having or complaining about, or people within the countries are complaining about the living standard of the people within the same country. So these are some of the things I think that is actually already happening, and it's because of the recession. So when you and the companies want to prepare for that, so they need or they want to actually save up money. That is why they are getting people laid off, so that when the recession becomes intensified, they wouldn't find themselves wanting or being pushed or being mandated to actually hire people. So they may be laying you off, but they may bringing in maybe contractors and stuff like that to be working for them. This is what I see actually happening. So that is what I'm actually picking up in this actual moment, and that is happening. So that is it for me. So that's why I'm urging a lot of you guys, start a YouTube channel. Don't try to be in your 9 to 5. Don't let working for somebody becomes your hindrance in terms of what you need to do, because it's coming to a time a lot of these jobs are going to actually go. They don't really care about you, actually. So care about yourself, and maybe start a YouTube channel. By the time that you get laid off, maybe you have built up some followers or something like that, so that you can make a living out of the YouTube. There are many avenues that you can do within YouTube as well. So look at it as your part of your things, and then you can decide what you want to do. Let us move on to the next question. The next question we have Catherine. Catherine say, "Hi David. I wonder if you could answer my questions. Do you see the Earth poles shifting or the Earth crust splitting? And have you any information on the asteroid that suddenly grew the creature from it after landing in Panama? I believe it is called venom, and it is a black, gooey substance that grew, breathes, and seems intelligent." So for your questions, I no, I don't see the Earth pose or anything actually shifting, or about to shift at all. I don't see that actually happening, and I don't see any crust or splitting apart um, catastrophically. I don't see that happening. And for the asteroid that you were talking about in terms of what is coming up in the news and stuff like that, let me put it straight. It's a big lie. There's nothing like that happened. Um, um, I don't see anything like that happen. I don't see anything closer like that happen. And I made this prediction previously before any of the psychic actually picked up on it. I told you guys that an asteroid or a comet will come relatively close to Earth, and then uh, we humans on Earth will actually see this happening. And when this things happening, we'll have a discussion that is going to go around of an asteroid or a comet possibly hitting Earth, right? There's going to be a possibility, and you know that when such conversation actually occurs, we have people who come up with a lot of theories about a lot of things, and these are some of the things that actually happen, saying that something came hit Earth, and then something grew out of it. That is not true. There's nothing like that actually happened. There's no evidence to that actually happened. So it's not possible. It didn't come to Earth. It came relatively close, and then discussions about possibly hitting Earth became something that emerged, and that was it. And that's something that I predicted in the past already. Let's move on to the next question. And before we move on actually to the next question, I have something fantastic coming. So we got monetized on YouTube. We got monetized already. And then I'll be doing a giveaway based on how much YouTube have paid me so far. I think right now we are amounting like 50 something dollars. And I'll be doing a giveaway in my monthly prediction. So watch out for my November 2025 monthly prediction, or I will do it. I'll put it in my yearly prediction. Let me do it like that. I'm going to put it in my yearly predictions that I'm going to be having. I'm going to put $10 gift cards or Amazon gift cards within some sections of the video. So if you pay attention and watch the video to the end, you are going to get rewarded by seeing those gift card codes posted in most of the videos. And I'm going to do it only just a 1 second um, 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 time frame. So you have to actually watch the video and be attentive to the video. It's going to be a long video because I'm going to put everything together. But if you pay attention, you can get rewarded. And from now to that time, any money that we make, I'll make it roughly maybe $100. So I'll put in 10 different codes in the video. And if you stay tuned, watch it, it is going to, you can get rewarded in 10 different times. So it's going to be something I'll put in our yearly 2026 psychic predictions. Let's move on to the next question. So I have No Shuan here. No Shuan says, I think he wants to say thank you for answering my question the last time. Your predictions about the mid-air crash almost happened where one of the plane needed to make an emergency landing. Yeah, I confirmed it before the start of this video. I said, do you see whether or not Joe Biden will pass away in 2025? I think there's a lot of predictions that is going around talking about Joe Biden actually passing away. But here's the case is that yes, Joe Biden, I don't think it's 2025, but I'm feeling, he's going to pass away, but somewhere in 2026. Um, I think it's midway 2026 thereabout. His health is going to be very, very sensitive and very poised at the moment. Is not going to be feeling well. I think we all know he's not feeling well already because during his term of presidency, he even stepped down, and then Kamala Harris actually picked up the mantle. So I see that he's going to pass away. But in 2025, when I talk about 2025, I'm not having that strong feeling. I'm not having the feeling of he passing away. But I think maybe he will we will see a glimpse of having any like illnesses actually coming up and stuff like that, and that will hit the news. That's what I'm feeling will happen to him at the moment, but I don't see him passing away in 2025 at the moment. Let's move on to your next question. You said, what do you see about Elon Musk and his company? Elon Musk is a very, I think, is a very broad person. So when you say that, let me see what I can pick up. I'm picking a feeling that Elon Musk is going to be involved in a movie production. I don't know if he's doing it already. I think he has passion with movie. When I'm looking at him, I see him passion with movie or an entertainment part of his career. I think that is what he's going to be actually involved in. And when I look at him, it's like I see some spiritual awakening. He's going to be involved in some spiritual awakening. I see that happening, and whilst I'm looking at that, I think the reason why he was involved in a spiritual awakening is that I saw kind of a, let's say, I think maybe one of his companies or one of his houses got burnt, something like that. I think there was something that was set on fire. I see like a blaze coming up, but it wasn't lasting for long. I think I see that happening within him, maybe with his company or one of his houses maybe got burnt or something like that. Or it could be that one of his cars, maybe mid production, there about something about fire will happen about Elon Musk. I think that's what I'm seeing here right now. That is happening, and I see him also buying actually a very big company. I see Elon Musk making a purchase to a very big company. I don't know what company is it, but it's a very big company that when we mention the name, you will know that, oh, okay, I know this company. I think that is something that is going to be happening for Elon Musk at the moment. That's what I see happening. That's it. Let's move on to the next question. I think he has another question. It says, "What do you see happening in North Korean presidency?" I think with that question, I see chaos happening, and I felt like now I got the name correctly. Is it Kim Jong Un? Kim Jong Un. I think I see him like he's no longer in power, and there is a woman who rose up from behind him. I think maybe he's part of his family or related or something like that. That's what I see happening. But I see chaos in happening in the presidency or something like that. Maybe he got ill, he has to step down, something like that. Something mysterious that will happen to Kim Jong Un at the moment. That's what I saw happening to him. I think his questions are done. Let us move on to the next question. I think I have a Dabi or something like that. What the name of rhymes? I'm sorry if I didn't get your name correctly. You say, when do you see odd season? Odd season. Bitcoin is running uh, altcoins, and I said this year is different from 2027 and 2021. Yes, I think the years are different. The energies when it comes to Bitcoin are different, and I see that Bitcoin is no longer part of altcoins like the way Bitcoin normally carries altcoin. When it goes up, altcoins also goes up or something like that. Things have changed in 2025 from the beginning of 2025, and there has been a lot of things that has actually happened in terms of introducing into or having an introduction into Bitcoin and stuff like that. I don't like to give price predictions, but in terms of seeing the altcoin season, I see that altcoin season is going to be May of 2026. So look at May 2026. I see that alternative coins will have enormous maybe they will start going up or there's going to be a rise in that at the moment, but that's what I see for those altcoin and Bitcoin at the moment. The prices will go up, but it's not relatively very high, but they will make some grounds in May of 2026. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is Andre says that will China invade Taiwan before the end of 2025? I think that when you say invade, it's a wrong word at the moment because previously I made a prediction that China will rise against Taiwan. So I see them rising against Taiwan, and I see that U.S. will come to the aid of Taiwan, and then they will have like a shady deal. This deal is kind of like requesting Taiwan to move their manufacturing companies into U.S. for the US actually to protect them against China. And was going to be like the same deal that Trump proposed to Ukraine. And I think that is what I actually see happening. But I don't see invading Taiwan, but I see that China will rise against Taiwan. I think the word was actually a misuse word. That is what I see actually happening. Let's move on to the next question. Uh, I will have GTB. GTB say, thank you, David. Enjoyed your reading very much. My question for Monday section is, do you see Israel taking over Gaza? I think the same question in terms of saying using a misword. It is not about them taking over Gaza. It is Gaza will be absorbed into Israel. Like that's what I see. These are two different things. There are two different things. It's if someone has a land and then someone's land is being absorbed into that person's land. It's not like they took it over, but it came into their land. So that is what I see actually happening. So I see that Gaza will be absorbed into Israel. That is something that I actually see happening. So it's not by force. It's just that it happened that they were actually absorbed. I don't know how they are going to be absorbed, but when it's getting closer to it, I will take a look at it. And well, but that's what I see happening. That they are going to be absorbed into actually Gaza. Let's move on to the next question. Samantha says that will there be a national election held sooner than the planned 2020 six elections in South Africa? Um, so I think my simple answer to that question is that no, I don't see any um presidential or presidential general elections before 2029. Um, I see another election that is going to be planned, but it is not the presidential elections. Since your question is about the elections in terms of presidential elections, it's not. I don't see that happening at the moment, but I see a different election happening. But your question is for maybe general elections, so I don't see that happening at the moment. Let Before 2029. Let's move on to the next question. Cousin say, greetings. I'm a new subscriber. Do you see any substantial gain in the following crypto coins before the year is done? BNT Tiger. Mm. So I normally don't like to do anything about Bitcoin. I think he has numerous coins. Let me see what I can pick up from those coins. I think that I don't like to do any prediction. But remember that I don't do price predictions before. Before I begin, just let you know that these predictions are just for entertainment purposes, and this is not actually a financial advice to anybody. With BNB Tiger, I see some gains, but not going to be any substantial gains uh, for for anything that is going to be high at the end of 2025. And then also, is it Papaya or something like that? Um, for Papaya, I see that maybe it is going to be doubling in price by the end of 2025. That's what actually I see happening. And Shibu, I don't know how they pronounce them. I don't see any gains, and for it, I only see losses, but not that a high losses because these coins are not even close to maybe a penny or something like that. So I don't see any losses, and I see a lot of risk for wiki cut or something like that. So if you have anything or you are using anything for wiki cut, I think that you should let it go in due time because I see a lot of risk over there also. And creepier coin, or I don't know what they call it. I think that if you have any of that, you shouldn't hold any of your money in those coins at the moment in the long run. Or if you have it, if it goes high, just sell it off and then, close that app and then be done with it. I think that is what I can say because I don't like giving any price prediction, and all this are for just entertainment purposes and just having fun. Those are my predictions. Now let's move on to the next question. Next question I have Tano says that extreme wise prediction every decade or so he makes an announcement, or he's talking about Bill Gates. He makes an announcement of giving away most of his wealth, and yet he keeps getting wealthier. His recent pledge is to give most of his wealth to the children of Africa. So yes, there's something about the wealthy that you don't understand. Irrespective of how much they give away, they're still gonna get richer. I think that he has already been doing, giving away money and stuff like that. He's helping them through institution. He doesn't help poor people personally or individually. He helps them through institutions, through government, through NGOs, and programs that may aid to improve the health, education, and quality life of children and community. And maybe those institutions are the ones that are not actually helping the case, or you may think if he will go broke or something like that. No, Bill Gates is not someone who will actually ever go broke. There are principles that these wealthy people actually use. They call it the buy, borrow, die principle. They call it the buy, borrow, die principle. So you will think that they will sell their asset to give to the poor. He will never sell his asset. He has a portfolio of loans that he can take based on his appreciating asset that he has actually purchased. So the wealthy people buy appreciating assets. So when they take those appreciating assets to become like collaterals and take loans, right? And then they actually use those loans. And when you borrow, you don't pay interest or you don't pay taxes on things that you have borrowed. So they live on borrowed money, and then their assets that they have keep on appreciating. That's why they call it the buy, borrow, die. So they make policies, life insurance policies, so that even when they die or they pass away, the insurance companies pay them, pay off their debts and stuff, and then their children inherit their wealth without paying any taxes on those actual. So that's the principle. So no matter how much money he gives out, he's still going to get rich because he never sold any of his assets to do that. I think maybe I explained it correctly for you to understand. So that is what they do. The principle is called buy, borrow, die. Let's move on to the next question. We have Adi here. Adi said, "Can you please discuss the future of Canada?" And it says that, "Are we going to have this government in power much longer?" So I think in Canada previously predicted that Justin Trudeau will step down, and I think he did, and somebody was going to be taking over, and I think that he did. I think it's Mark. The name is Prime Minister Mark. is the one leading at the moment. I don't see any other elections before October 2029. I don't see any other elections at the moment. So if you are saying that he's going to be in power much longer, uh, I'm kind of a little bit confused based on the fact that I don't know if you're talking about beyond 2029 or before 2029. So if you can make your question clear, but I don't see anything of him stepping down before 2029. I think the 2029 he will be in power till that time. But I'm not zooming in whether he's going to pass away. I'm not zooming in based on the fact that he will step down or there's going to be any general elections happening. But I don't see that happening at the moment. Let's move on to the next question. The next question we have Phoenix. Phoenix says that just found you. Can I please ask about Crete? Is it Crete in Greece? As hoping to move there between December, April. And I'm hoping the pandemic you mentioned won't prevent me from moving. I don't think that there's anything that is going to prevent anybody from moving to wherever they want to actually move to in the first place. But with that area, what I see is that I see in Greece in general, I see an inflow of immigrants, illegal immigrants flowing in. So with that, I see a massive inflow of illegal immigrants coming in the country. And whilst I'm talking about inflows or a flood of immigrant, I see also that there's going to be like a massive flood. I see something massive in the city getting flooded, and I see people couldn't move or even they are actually like stranded or something like that. And I also see that it's like there's is it the place is like an earthquake prone area, right? I'm not that's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up that there's an earthquake prone area, and there's going to be another earthquake. It looks like there was another. My guide is showing me that there was another earthquake, and then there is another one that is actually coming, and it's going to happen just like the same one that actually happened, if not more. That I see that that's what my guide is showing me at the moment. That I see another earthquake actually happening, and I'm also picking up bushfires at the moment. I'm picking up bushfires in those areas. I'm picking up a massive bushfires in those areas. And I'm seeing that there may be bushfires that will destroy some properties. That is what I'm actually picking up. I'm picking up something massive. Like I told you guys already that these bushfires are in correlation to the the pandemic and stuff. I know if you are looking right now, people are getting sick and then the pandemic is actually also happening. So I don't know if you guys have gotten notice of people getting sick that they don't really know what is actually happening to them. So this is you have to be taking precautions of yourself and stuff. And I see that there's someone there who is well known. I don't know if you can check for me that there is someone in that area who is actually well known. I'm picking something funny about the person at the moment, but I need to know if there's somebody who is well known in that area. But that's what I'm picking up at the moment. Since I'm not picking it up right, let's move on to the next question. I couldn't find the next question, but I see somebody asked about also, can we get update on the big, like the three big presidents? It was like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. With I saw something in that correlation or something like that. That was a question whether there's going to be saved or other African countries will follow them or something. That's what I was picking up when I was getting this. So yes, I see that most of the African presidents will actually follow their footsteps. Those are the president of Mali, Niger, and then Burkina Faso. So that's what I'm picking up, that they will follow their footsteps and they will be doing, and I think they are already doing that already. So it's not like it's going to be a prediction, but it's something that they are already doing. But a massive crowd will actually follow them because that's how it's been designed. And I see that one of the three president is going to be assassinated. I see that happening. I think that one of them is going to be assassinated. I don't want to put anything out there. I wanted to say the first name, but I'm not going to put anything out there. But that is what I see happening. I think um, um, one of them is going to be assassinated. That's what I'm picking up at the moment. Thank you guys for watching the video. Today was Answer Monday. If you enjoyed the video, kindly like the video, subscribe as well if you're not a subscriber already. And I told you guys in our yearly predictions, we're going to be doing a giveaway where I'm going to be putting gift cards based on what how much YouTube has paid us. I'm going to be putting those gift cards within I'm going to make it $100, and I'm going to be putting um $10 each of Amazon gift card. I don't know what gift card is out there, but I may be putting it in. And I think I had somebody give me like an Apple gift card that was $100, $50 too. I'm going to be putting it in the video. I'm going to be in 1 second. The video was going to be long, but I need you to actually be watching that video. I don't know, it's maybe coming out in November somewhere. That so let's keep going, let's keep grinding, and thank you guys for being here today.